noted in the book of minutes that the required 48-hour notice was mailed to the office of the Times, Trentonian, and the clerk of the city of Trenton, as well as posted in the main entrance of the authority, 875 New Willow Street, in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Here.
Chairman Gentry.
Here. We have a motion for the adoption of the
So moved.
You want to change that? The agenda, you want to change the
yes,
order?
we can change the order of the agenda.
So you have to,
Adoption of
you have to move it, I think you have to move it with the order.
Yeah, I would say if you want to change it.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the adoption of the agenda, but we're gonna change the order of the agenda. Okay? Since we do adoption of the agenda, we will be doing executive session, then after executive session, we'll come back to the meeting.
Don't we gotta vote on that?
We're going to do that now. We'll open it up.
Make a motion that we do said change of moving the executive session to the top of the agenda and then do the adoption of the agenda.
So second.
Roll call, Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
I don't see the executive session on the agenda.
Page 2.
Oh, but it has nothing on here. Okay.
So
All right.
it says executive session. Executive session usually means either contracts or personnel. That's why we.
So we're leaving here and going in the other room?
Yes.
Okay.
If this motion passes, that's what
Commissioner Garrett,
I'm going, I don't know. Come back to me. I have to think on it.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett.
What are we discussing in executive session?
Personnel contracts.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay, the record should note that we're convening to executive session at 12:06. Treasurer Weldon Gordon was at the executive session. I don't know if she's gonna be making it to this meeting, she was at the executive session. Commissioner Raines, we're waiting for him to come in.
But I know I hit you, but. She's not coming in here?
She had an emergency.
This is what I'm talking about.
Okay, we have a motion for approval of the regular meetings, minutes for the meeting of June 13th.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Raines.
Any questions? No questions being heard, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
Abstain?
Commissioner Green. Yes. Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
401.
Motion for approval of minutes of the special meeting minutes for July 5th.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Second by Raines.
Any questions on that? No questions being heard, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
I wasn't there.
You can still vote to approve, you don't have to be present to do it, so it's up to you.
I'm not gonna, approve them, because I wasn't there. And the minutes does not really give us give me any sense of what was discussed.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Even though I wasn't there, I did read them. Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
Okay, next we have the
Senate Council officer?
swearing in of the French Towers Senate Council. They here?
Oh, yeah.
They here? Well, we can move on, they not, I think. We can
We
move
can
on.
move on to the next
Okay.
item and come back to
So we'll
that.
move on to the secretary's report.
So I just want to say, commissioners, we have extensive agenda today. The agenda represents our work over the summer and the year coming to fruition. Two things that we have on the agenda today is the selection of a developer partner, designated development partner for our Choice Neighborhoods implementation grant application, as well as a developer for our Prospect Village and Campbell Homes redevelopment project. Hopefully we're moving forward with these things that with Campbell Homes and Prospect Village. Under a RAD conversion, we will be demolishing the two empty buildings at Campbell Homes, rebuilding anywhere up to at least 45, it looks like right now, under our current plan, as well as doing the complete rehab on Prospect Village. And I'll let Christy talk when more about the Choice Neighborhoods Initiative, but the Choice Neighborhoods Initiative has come out, the notice of funding opportunity. The application is due on December 11th, so we are full blast going toward submitting that application, which is again a $50 million grant from HUD and investments up to $350 million throughout the neighborhood, hopefully, and we're talking about hopefully transforming the Dowling Homes in the North Trenton neighborhood. just to let commissioners know that that money does not just include for sticks and bricks, but there's a substantial amount of money that goes towards programs to improve the quality of life of our residents, health initiatives, educational initiatives, as well as job training and employment initiatives. I just wanted to, before we move forward into the resolutions or into the report from, I'm actually gonna have Mr. Godfrey, my Deputy Executive Director, give a report. I just want to give a public thank you to all of the staff members who are working diligently to try to address and improve the quality of life and the issues that we see here. We're dealing with, as you know, when you with your shoulder to the grind every day, you know that we deal with buildings that are approaching 100 years old. We're dealing with lack of funding from HUD. Yet, I'm really talking to you. I'm talking to you guys. Keep your head up. Keep coming every day, and stay positive. You are making a difference. You are making an impact. We know that nothing is perfect. There is a level of dissatisfaction, and we are addressing to the best of our ability that level of dissatisfaction and trying to help those to satisfy themselves, because some of that dissatisfaction has to do with the circumstances, and some of it just has to do with our station. So we are moving, and I just wanted to give a public thank you to the staff, all of the directors and the folks that are working hard. Just thank you, because this is not, we all do this, we get paid well. Well, you know we don't do this for the money, because I got a talented group of people here that could be making a ton more money in something that wasn't serving the community. So thank you all, appreciate that. And with that, I just want to bring, we'll start with Mr. Godfrey to give a brief, let's do the swearing in, I'm sorry. We here, we got everybody? Yeah. Bringing them forward. French Tower President Council. I just wanted to say before Mr. Godfrey swears the French Tower President Councils in, I would like to say that I just thank you guys, because this is one of our most active resident councils throughout the housing authority, and it makes a difference. It makes a big difference. They have a great working relationship with the staff. When they see something that's not right, they report it. They work with those in place to try to get it corrected, and they're active in their building. So I just want to say thank you. I think the relationship of the French Towers Resident Council is a model of how we should be throughout our building. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
All right. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Kenneth Hill,
Yeah.
Mr. Leroy Martin, Miss Virginia Whitfield, Miss Elizabeth Marini, and Yvette Cabell. All right. Here's our council, and
Come to the center. You face the board. Face Mr. Godfrey, the board. Yeah, that's good.
right, so I will read out the oath for French Towers Resident Council, and I would ask that you repeat after me. I will say I, you will say your name, and then I will repeat the first line. You guys will say that. When I stop, you guys can continue, okay? You guys can repeat what I just said. All right? And so the oath goes, I. Say your name, please. All right. Do solemnly swear that I will support the council of the state of New Jersey and resident council bylaws of the Trenton Housing Authority and all local ordinances, and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of secretary for your position.
the duties of office of president
Here we go. To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
All right, you guys have now been sworn in.
All right.
And you have to sign it. And so for the signing in process, how do you want to handle that?
Whenever they gather, I know they gather and she can sign it. Yeah. Yeah, he got it. Freedom got it. Freedom got one. So we can just get it from Freedom got a picture of everybody. Nice.
You guys gonna go back down?
So I have
You related to Corey?
That's my nephew.
My boy. Good man.
So I have two reports today, and then I think Christie's reports will be handled in the context of the resolution. So we begin with Mr. Guy.
All right. Today, Board of Commissioners.
What
So,
resolution are we starting with?
We're on report to the secretary right now.
Okay, so what is he going to be explaining? Could you explain that to me? I didn't
Well,
get it.
he'll explain it to you. This is the report of the secretary.
so in this report, I am addressing previous tenants that came to our board meetings from our last session in June, and other issues that have been addressed to the executive director. Part of this response, the THA administration sought out residents that had established concerns with their living conditions. Those conditions pertain to infestations, those infestations of pests. It pertained to plumbing issues that we were having and long-standing issues that the agency is actually plagued with. We had items that were identified with Turner Point that our maintenance and facilities staff went out, did investigations, and they, conducted surveys with residents on what the current conditions were in their units from between that time period of June to now, September 1st. As of September 1st, a large number of the issues were taken care of, and if there's any additional issues that were outstanding, will be taken care of during the course of September. We had issues where, as an example, we had issues where there was running that was caused on the grounds, there was undermining that was caused on our grounds here at Donnelly Homes over the years. Stormwater systems were removed from our property, and the lines just ran off into certain areas of the property. Maintenance staff were operating very diligently to take care of these things over the years, but due to illness and injury, personnel that were directly involved with making sure those issues were taken care of, they were out for an extended period of time. We've worked with our contractors as well as site staff to make sure that those issues were taken care of. We have, over the course of the summer, as you know, every year, we are plagued with different forms of cooling issues to our HVAC systems. Our systems go down. Some of these systems that were constructed in the elderly buildings to Wilson Homes, they were not placed in adequate fashion. Therefore, a lot of stresses are placed on our systems. So we sought out different forms of contractors to come in and investigate how can we best mitigate these issues in a timely manner. An issue was brought to our attention at French Towers. The issue was rectified within a week of service. We initiated our outside contractor to act post haste on the issues that came to our attention. So we will continue to identify areas as we go through from our preventative maintenance plan. We'll continue to address issues that are brought to our attention as they come through our emergency hotline. We are working very hard at making sure that our enterprise software is brought to live action the 1st of October, where we can also, provide better customer service with the issues that residents actually bring to our attention, and that'll be another way of holding ourselves accountable, as well as the residents will be able to hold us accountable for some of the things that are being identified on the sites. But our accountability starts not only with us, but also with the tenants. A lot of issues that we've identified at Wilson Homes were issues that were going on for a number of years. We have floors that have been rotting away from water damage, either from improper use of laundry machines in the units. So those improper use, being that we haven't authorized the usage of those machines, water leaks out on the floor, causes different damages. We've also identified issues where in our utility closets, due to water damage either coming from the roof or a vacant unit above, it caused additional damage going down that whole line of units. We're working to pursue grants that would hopefully help us identify and address some of our capital needs. But as of now, we're doing our best to make sure that we address everything in a timely fashion as it comes up.
Just to clarify one thing, we don't have at the senior buildings, we don't have a systematic issue. That issue that happened at the senior building was a break fix, and that for the most part, that the issues with heat and air at the senior building or air is people understanding the system, keeping their windows closed, not allowing human air into the building. The system was really designed for a closed system. It wasn't designed for you to be able to open your window up while the system's running. So I think the place where we have the most HVAC issues that we're going to address is Lincoln Homes and Wilson Homes. And Mr. Godfrey alluded to it. We put in for a $3 million capital at-risk grant. I didn't mention that. We also put in for a $3 million Jobs Plus grant. That's what I was. Thank you again. I forgot to thank you for that. But staff. So we wanna. And again, I just want to back up and say, in terms of the board and the board's assistance with this, we've given the board a look at each property. I gave you the operating plan. At the back of those plans, it had a breakdown of each property, how old it was, what were the major issues we facing there, and asking the board to basically weigh in on a long-term vision toward addressing those properties. Right now, we feel like we have a long-term vision for Donnelly Homes. I feel like we want to address AMP1, which is Prospect, Lincoln, and Frazier. And I think that the remaining properties will be Wilson Homes and the senior buildings. Remind you, the senior buildings had a ton of work, millions of dollars placed into the senior buildings, central air, central heat, windows, faucets, shower heads, lights, all of that was done. So as we look at limited funds, when we looked at what it would take to bring all of the properties up to address all the issues in all of the properties, it was in the area of $20 to $25 million. That's just to get us. So HUD doesn't provide it on a, if so. I'm saying that to say that one of the things that that I would ask this board to do is be more versed to advocate for us, to write letters to Congress, to write letters to HUD about the different lack of funding and different things that we have, so we can address those issues. But we're doing everything we can with the resources that we have. Like I said, we put in 3 grants, and we're looking toward moving toward doing these developments where it really changes the whole face of our properties and hopefully the face of the city as well.
Thank you.
With that, I'd like to bring Kaya Green up to give a brief presentation on And I just want to say before Kaya gives her presentation, she's been a welcome addition to our staff. She has really dug in terms of organizing partners and working with partners and really trying to get services to our family. So it's not just, again, I know I'm reiterating this, but the issues that we have are not just physical. They're physical, they're economic, they're social, they're mental. There's a plethora of issues that we are faced with. And sometimes staff are not only housing professionals, they're finance people, they're social service people. Sometimes they have to be counselors. So, this particular work that we have is a noble work, it's a great work. And I just want to thank you again.
Thank you. And good afternoon, commissioners and residents and colleagues and stakeholders, guests. So my report, I don't want to go so detailed in the operations report that I submitted to the board because I didn't already have this. But I'll go, just briefly and then go into a couple of initiatives that my department is looking to engage in the near future. So we had a great response with United Healthcare Bingo in August, with over 100 residents participating in those bingo sessions with Carrie Garces. And what I'll add to this is that Carrie Garces, along with her husband at the Garces Group, will be holding informational meetings with our seniors to address and support Medicare and Medicaid applications. There's an upcoming deadline, December, I think it's either 11th or 15th, and she's going to work with our residents so that they have support in submitting their applications, because it can be a quite confusing process. Prestige of Ewing Bingo was very successful in getting seniors out for their events as well. We see with our pharmacy COVID testing, over 300 residents throughout our senior buildings were tested, which I think is a significant way to continue to address public health through our buildings. Tanya Grant did an amazing job of running our summer camp program, so let's give it up for Tanya for that. No small feat of organizing classrooms of children over days, over weeks of a summer. And so we also were able to compensate and hire 3 Trenton Board of Education teachers, which was also a great support for the success of that program. And each of those teachers had a junior or senior counselor, which helped with academic enrichment because it kept classroom size and small groupings available for academic support. Sisters Helping Others, Food Pantry, hello, you guys are really doing great work throughout our community. We see here over 200 residents served either through visiting the pantry on foot or by their distribution. They have a distribution cycle of where they deliver boxes to people who can't visit our administration building. A Maker's Place Diaper Depot, which is a wonderful, wonderful service for parents needing diapers, needing wipes, children's books. Over 20 residents participated in that. We have a basketball league that Tanya is also heading, and she mailed out over 230 flyers to THAU, and we will. Did you guys have your first game last night?
It's Thursday.
Okay, first game is coming up on Thursday, so if you're available, then come join us. Come out to the games. We enjoyed a great night with National Night Out, right, Commissioner? Okay,
Yes, you
Commissioner
did.
Raines was there. We had a And Tanya was on the grill.
She was grilling.
Right? So that was fun. And then, oh my goodness, Mr. Green, no, but Mr. Green and I enjoyed a great presentation with the students from the City Planning Institute, an initiative that was started last year, right? Christy Huff headed that, and led by Deborah Schultz and Michael Colbert, who is the senior city planner for the city of Trenton. But it was an amazing presentation to the mayor, which I thought the children did a great job. We had a couple of pop-up community feedings by the VFW to two of our senior buildings, where they served food and also gave away personal hygiene products, also cleaning products to residents. Darren Green is continuing his meetings at the senior buildings. Every week he meets with the seniors to address any of their needs that they may have. From 9 to 11, he meets with the Abbott building on, I think, Monday, the Josephson building on Wednesday, and then the French Towers maybe on Friday. I think I have the schedule correct. But that's an opportunity for any resident during that time to come down, talk to Darren, meet with our department, and express any concerns, challenges that they may be having on a regular basis. What else? We had a great event with Salvation and Social Justice. They had a peace zone party right here at Donnelly Fields. They served food and had big fun with children, with bouncy house, right, cotton candy, all of the things that children love. We also were able to support Tony Jackson with his Dream Big event that day by just allowing him the use of tables, chairs, our tablecloths for his reception registration tables. So he was very appreciative of that, and we were pleased to be able to be a support for his event as well in Cadwallader Park. We also hosted a Bonner tour with the College of New Jersey. So just, looking to recruit college students for programs and activities that we can host. And yesterday, actually, I met with one student that is interested in coming on board. She wants to do a beautification project throughout our sites. Maybe, like the barrels when you come into the THA administration building. She's thinking about maybe doing perennials that would grow from year to year, or even taking that to other sites as well, like barrels of flowers in front of our senior buildings, Lincoln Homes, all of our different sites. She's working on a project to beautify. And another thing she was thinking about is youth nutrition workshops, as well as planning for a spring launch to our community garden, or to what we would like to be a community garden. Also, myself, Tanya Grant, Mr. Green, we met with all resident council teams, right? Remember we had that meeting where we were looking to address whatever issues the leadership teams are having at their particular buildings. Some of the things that are upcoming for our department are, Darren is going to do community site tours where we're looking to, just like we have a strong leadership council at French Towers, we want to build on that strength throughout our THA developments. And so his first stop is actually going to be at Turner Point, where the kickoff is at Turner Point, I believe on October 3rd. And what we're looking to do is bring community awareness around what we do in our department, and to have resident engagement. And so that is the kickoff, and we look to tour all of our THA sites throughout our agency. Tanya Grant, we are launching our after-school program in October. She's also planning for a Halloween event, a Thanksgiving basket giveaway, and that casino night that was so popular. I remember when I came on board.
And we're gonna do something for breast cancer as well.
And a breast cancer awareness. Thank you.
That's busy.
Okay. And Ms. Kia Baker has been working with our FSS participants, doing a lot of work around case management, bringing them in with coaching. Another thing that Kia is working on is our intake and referral system, because as a department, there's so many things that we also do outside of the work we're tasked to do. So we want to get a little bit more just organized around who we refer and where we refer our residents to. And so we're working on figuring that out, and ways to make our department more visible, as well as becoming a part of the admissions and recertification process, because we feel like that's an opportunity to make our department more readily accessible for residents, right? Because once they come on board, then we're here, and they don't necessarily know the work that we're doing or how they can engage with us. And that concludes my And Mr. Godfrey reminded me that we do have our first potential homeowner through the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. So let's give it up for that. Thank you for that reminder. And that concludes my meeting. I mean, my.
Mr. Richard Squire, our Director of Finance, is going to present resolutions 2322, 2323, and 2324.
Good afternoon, everyone. Open things up here with the resolutions. This first resolution is going to be Resolution 2322. This resolution authorizes the approval of disbursements for June 2023 in the amount of $682,786.11 here at the Housing Authority, split between two funds here, the general fund and the capital fund. It is recommended that the Board of Commissioners adopt this resolution approving the disbursements for the month of June 2023.
We have a motion for resolution 2322.
So, second.
Any questions?
I do.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. I was looking through here, for the capital improvement, what was that used for? It was, I know it's 42,000, but what exactly was that? What was improved with that 42,000 is my question?
That was the lead-based paint grant. Those funds were applied for the lead-based paint inspections that were performed.
Okay, so this was the contract for the company to go around and do the lead-based testing. Am I
Yes.
correct? Is that because that came out of this fund?
It's a capital grant. It's considered a capital grant.
I'm not gonna get my answers. Okay. I looked in here a few other things. You know what? Go ahead. I'm just gonna send an email. I can't do this
That being
because
said-
this is a waste of time.
Vote, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
No.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Rain,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
23 vote.
The next resolution is going to be 2323. This resolution authorizes the approval of disbursements from.
Excuse me, I'd just like to intervene. 23-23 and 23-24 and 23-25. Is that 25? That's no 23-23, 23-24 for July and August. We got this Friday, and my question to the board before he goes into this long-winded about these two. Did everybody on the board was able to review these finances, the finances? Because if you haven't, I would like us to table it for the next meeting because we were supposed to get these a few weeks ago. So we're not bombarded. So can we go do a vote to hold this unless you all did do your due diligence and looked at it? Because I didn't review it. Because it was too much. We had a lot of stuff impacted. Then we had this board meeting. So that's my question. Did you have enough time to review it from Friday and to yesterday? If you haven't, let's table it.
Well, to table a motion, you have to have a motion on the table first. So you have to have a motion to approve it. You have to have the presentation first. Then to make a motion to approve, then you want to table it, you would do it then.
Okay, so continue.
So this resolution authorizes the approval of disbursements for July 2023 in the amount of $952,854 for the month of July. It is the recommendation that the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution approving the disbursements for July 2023.
So moved.
I second it.
Any questions on it? No questions being heard, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
Abstain.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
The next resolution is 2324. This resolution authorizes the approval of disbursements for the month of August 2023 in the amount of $1,495,833.71, split between the general fund as well as the capital fund. It is recommended that the Board of Commissioners adopt this resolution approving the disbursements for the month of August 2023.
Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? No questions, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
Abstain.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
And for the record, I reviewed my
okay.
disbursements Friday evening.
Commissioner Weldon,
She was here for the motion, so
okay.
she was here for the charter.
Okay. Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, the record should note that Commissioner Weldon Gordon returned in 121. We are. Fourth one.
Resolution 2325 exists as a amendment to previous resolutions 2302 and 2319, as well as 2325 would bring these two previous resolutions that were approved by the board to a total of $700,000. This resolution pertains to our extension of general contracting services for unit turnovers. This resolution asks that the Board of Commissioners adopt a resolution authorizing the Executive Director to amend the contract with Trevor Carpentry, Do It All, VI Construction, and Don Moore Construction to recondition units on an as-need basis, THAY. Additionally, this amendment would add an additional $200,000 to the contract.
Just for the record, so those 4 different resolutions were ones that actually authorized each one of those to be contractors in the first place. Is that
Yes.
correct?
No, but there were amendments.
No,
Is
no.
that correct?
The original
This is an amendment.
resolution is 2302.
Okay.
Then you have amendment 2319. This additional amendment is 2325, which would bring your contract total to $700,000. We had previous contracts that was awarded under different years for 2022, and in 2022 we only had 3 contractors. In this amendment, we now have 4 contractors that are working. So those are separate resolutions.
Okay, let me just reiterate so I understand, because this is asking for amendment. I know, we did an, increase amended to $400,000, and I think at that time we had 4, because now we have 3. Am I correct? For the last one, we okay.
No,
So,
we have 4.
when we amended for $400,000,
That was last year. This year we started with 4.
let me, stop it. So, we amended it to $400,000, and, that was, to extend it, to add to that initial resolution. And I think we did the same thing for 2302, it was like 100,000, and now the 2325 is adding to the 2319, am I correct?
No, ma'am. In 2022, I'm going to explain to you. In 2022 was a separate contract that was awarded to a different set of contractors. In 2023, at the start of 2023, we awarded a contract to a set of contractors. That contract was amended by $150,000. We are now extending that amendment.
Which one was 150,000?
Our previous 2319 was for 150,000.
Okay.
And now we're extending that with this amendment by an additional $200,000.
Okay, so the 2319
Yes, ma'am.
had 4 contractors, isn't that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the 2325 has 3 contractors, right?
Right.
It's the same 4 contractors?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're adding $200,000.
Yeah.
So why don't we just go out? Oh, so you don't want to go out for the RFQ?
Until next year. Trying to help.
No, don't help me. I don't need your help. Answer the questions, please.
You ain't asked a question yet.
Okay, I'm all right. Okay. So how many times did we? Okay, so submit another resolution. No more addresses.
Question and answer all.
Unoccupied units.
Are you at the end of,
No, I'm not.
reading it?
No,
no, I'm not.
talking to you.
One other question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It was up for questions.
Well, we need a motion.
Is there a motion?
No, we need a motion.
First.
Okay, go ahead with the motion.
So moved.
Second.
We've been through questions?
Yes, I still have questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, so how many units? How many units and attendants within 5 years or more? Okay, so a few of the tenants have come and based on your presentation, the secretary's presentation, there's been some questions in regards to tenants having their units re-renovated after they were living in their units after 5 years. And my question is that this resolution is for vacant units. So I'm wondering if we can add these, because one time you said when we were trying to do the amendments, you were saying these contractors, you try to keep them busy, find them work if you don't have any vacant units to renovate or recondition. Recall that conversation.
It's something of that nature.
Okay, so can we add to this that we would use them for?
No.
I'm sorry, that's something totally
No,
different.
something totally
No.
different.
Come on now, I'm talking to him.
It's
Well,
not
I
the
answered your
motion.
question.
That's right.
I answered your question. No, we can't amend this to use this for vacant unit terms specifically.
Okay, but my point is, do we need to have
No.
Okay, go ahead. And this is very low, the $5,293 per unit. When I look at the register for the cost, our units are like $8,000. I haven't seen this $5,293 per unit in a while.
That's the average cost.
Let's see, you have similar votes, you have different
Yeah.
categories.
Yes. Yes, that was the
Continue
average
the
cost.
questions.
And so for
I
this
have a
amendment,
question.
Your question?
Can you please tell me, why the cost is going up?
the cost actually is not increasing. We're stabilizing the cost with doing our unit turnovers. This particular grant, we're asking for additional funding because we've exhausted what we had already. We have, right now, we have roughly 32 units that we're seeking to turn over at the end of the year. So we want to take this particular contract towards the end of the year versus redistributing a RFQ now.
So
Instead
now
we'll start off
start
anew. That's fine. So we want to start off anew for 2024 with, if hopefully we'll get new local contractors and persons engaged in this process.
My last question is, the contractors that we hire, if they have staff too, am I correct?
Yes.
So, do we monitor if the staff is being paid? We do not.
Only time if there's an open request for that, right now we don't.
Okay, thank you so much.
You get certified payroll.
Yeah.
So then,
Certified payroll.
Yeah, we don't collect them, but we do request them every year.
Yeah, if there's a request for it, we'll request it.
Because
To make sure that their staff is being paid, because we hire them,
Yes.
correct? Thank you so much.
One more question, this is coming out of the operating account, why is it not coming out of the capital improvement account?
Because these are not capital, these are not considered modernization units, these are considered terms. We call it in the language reconditioning.
Oh, so the only time we are able to use the capital improvement funds is for modernization?
Yes.
Is that?
Some of these may be, some of these, I don't know, I think cause we identify, we're working on a separate bid right now, just for modernization units, and that will go out to bid as one tranche.
Yeah, but when you go in and you're reconditioning, isn't that modernizing?
No, modernization is, essentially if we replace the entire kitchen, replace the bathroom.
That's renovating, remodeling.
I mean, I'm just, you asking me a question.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It's
We
capital
both-
fund,
It's
capital fund program.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Garrett.
Garrett, on that-
Thank you,
on
Mr.
20
Garrett.
23,
Thank you, Mr.
25,
Garrett.
roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
No.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
Okay. All right, resolution 2326 is.
Good afternoon.
Before, I just wanna point to something before we start. Last month, and this was in the package, and I would just say the package is comprehensive. The only thing that I feel like that we need to put in the package going further, and when we get our software updated, we'll put in the package, is maintenance work orders completed versus outstanding work orders and the nature of the work orders. We have the modernization projects in the package, we have extensive financials in the package, we have extensive operations report in the package. I think that's the main piece that we need. If you digest this package, it gives you a picture of the housing authority.
Thank you.
But I will say that we had 23 move-outs and 20 move-ins last month. It was one of our best months for move-ins, but we had 23 move-outs because we did 17 evictions. So now you're seeing the effects of the pandemic. They're coming full circle now with evictions. 17, that's more evictions than I've ever seen in 1 month at the housing authority. And so the reason why we doing amending and extending contracts to do more vacant units is because we're fighting a battle with turnovers. And like I said, 20 is for our organization to turn 20 units in a month is good. But then you get 23 move-outs. We should have been 15 to the good last month. So instead we 3 to the. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Resolution number 2326, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Trenton designating Property Resources Corporation, PRC, as the conditional private development partner, co-developer for the Valley Homes North Trenton Battle Monument Choice Neighborhood Project. As everyone knows, we received a Choice Neighborhood Planning Grant in 2019, and we developed a transformation plan for Valley Homes in the North Trenton neighborhood.
The transformation plan was adopted by HUD and approved in February of 2022. We solicited qualifications statements for real estate developers to act as a private development partner with the housing authority and to assist with the housing component of the transformation plan. The RFQ was advertised on May 22nd, 2023. Proposals were due July 18th. We had a pre-proposal meeting on June 19th. 21 RFQ packages were picked up. We received 3 proposals and 1 developer proposal was incomplete. So we received 2 proposals, I'm sorry, and 1 developer's proposal was incomplete. THA wanted to ensure that the selection process was inclusive of all stakeholders, so we included an evaluation committee which consisted of residents, the Trenton City Housing Redevelopment Corporation, which trustees and the THA board members, which are also trustees on that board, community partners, THA staff, and the city of Trenton. At the end of the evaluation process, the evaluation committee selected PRC. We did site tours, we did interviews, and we had responses to development questions. So we received, like I said, 2 responses. 1 was incomplete, and we selected PRC, which is Property Resource Corporation. So it is recommended that the Board of Commissioners approves Resolution 2326, selecting a Choice Neighborhood Development Partner.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on this?
I have a question. So this is the same, that y'all put to bid because this was something that we was gonna do with Michael's before,
Yes,
right? And they
exactly.
backed up. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do.
Yes.
I wasn't notified when, there was 2 meetings, one with this developer initially on the 8th, I think it was it August 8th? And then, and then on the 21st, you all went to look at some other projects that this developer, a co-developer, had done in New York City, is that correct?
That's correct.
I wasn't notified about it.
Yeah, so we have the Trenton City Redevelopment Housing Corporation that serves as our development partner, and they work with us to serve with to select development partners and to work with us on these kind of projects. So we do inform all of those board members, and they were present for either interviews or site tours.
Right, but it says in here even community stakeholders. I live in the community. So I wasn't even I didn't have to be invited because I was on the board. I wasn't even considered, and I'm on the board, but I could have just came just to hear. And now this is in front of me for me to vote on it, and I don't even know, haven't heard the presentation.
So we can have them come to do a presentation.
It's okay.
Okay.
I don't need you to answer. I'm just making a statement.
Okay.
But I do, excuse me.
Just for the record, something needs to be said on the record about that.
Just for the record, I'm the chairwoman of that board, so you not being invited is not that you weren't just not invited, you don't sit on the board. So the board is made up of trustees and other board members. We all were in attendance for the meeting, and then we went to do the site. Now you're being provided the information, which is the resolution. So you either approve it or don't approve it.
You're talking at me?
I'm talking to you.
But you're not supposed to be talking to
I'm
me, honey.
speaking
I'm not
to
a
you.
child. I'm a commissioner.
So I need you to
And
act
I'm
like one.
you need to act
No,
like
I need
one.
you to act
You're
like
being
one.
hostile.
No, you are being
Excuse me,
hostile, and we are
tenants.
tired of it.
Tenants. Have I been hostile? Most of you tenants have been here. Have I been hostile at this sitting around this table? Tenants. I have.
Yes, you have.
The tenants,
Yes, you have.
are y'all tenants are saying I've been
Yes,
hostile at
you
this
have.
table? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
I just got it. Whoa.
Enough is enough.
Wait a minute. Attendance. No, excuse me.
Wait a minute.
So she can speak. Thank you. Everybody's doing it. So you know what you're saying and how you say, and some of you are condescending to one another. And again, being that some of the public is out is disrespectful.
Exactly.
Everybody across the board. Everybody knows what they do, the attitude, the snorkeling, how you addressing each other. It's not appropriate for it to be a board and a meeting.
What you're
Thank
with
you
that
very
being
much.
said, you're not invited, because if you're there, that constitutes a quorum, which is a board meeting, and that's not legal.
Exactly.
So
Right.
therefore, that's the reason why, okay? With that being said, are there
I'm
anybody
still,
else who
I'm
would
still have questions.
Okay.
Okay, so here it says in here, the executive must have authorization from the Board of Commissioners to negotiate a redevelopment agreement
Yes.
and assist in completion of the housing plan. Where's the housing plan?
They have to help assist develop that.
No, the initial housing plan, the
Oh.
draft, because you already did this with the,
Yeah,
Michaels.
that was done
So-
in 2022.
Right, so is this it right here? That's my question. Where is that for me to
It's
look
on our
at?
website, it's been.
Okay, thank you. And the status of the correct housing plan, okay, what does this entail? Okay, so negotiation, so you're gonna negotiate exactly what, Mr. Garrett?
We will negotiate a master redevelopment agreement, and we will bring that agreement back to the board for approval.
So this is gonna be with the master plan, master redevelopment of the 250, is it, the 250?
No.
For the city of Trenton? So how different is that gonna be from the city of Trenton's, master plan?
So
This
this
is
is
supposed
just
to
a development
complement.
plan for Downey Homes, Junior One, this choice neighborhood area.
Okay, thank you.
With that, any other questions from the board? No questions, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
Abstaining.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon, Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 2327, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Trenton authorizing its executive director to enter into an agreement with WRT Planning and Design as the planning coordinator and grant writer for HUD Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant. So, we've been talking about the planning process. We did a plan already for Choice Neighborhood, which involves Downey Homes and Junior One and the surrounding North Trenton neighborhood. The actual application for the $50 million came out
Excuse me.
on. Mhm.
No, okay. Kristen, finish.
I
Okay.
can't hear what you're saying because someone's back there talking.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So, we received, the application came out on September 6th for the $50 million we've been talking about. We wanted, the project can be up to $300 million with different leverage and different funding sources, but the grant is for $50 million. So we are now at the point where we have to apply for the grant. It's due December 11th. WRT has been working with us all these years since 2019. They helped us write the plan already. We consider them a sole source because no one else can come in here and actually help us write this grant and have the historical knowledge that WRT has. So we want to just continue to use them. We only have 90 days to get this application done. So we recommend that the Board of Commissioners approves WRT as the Choice Neighborhood Planning Coordinator, grant writer for this application that's due December 11th, that's out now.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on 2327?
I do.
Yes.
I thought, before the end of, the last, before June, we voted for a grant writer.
No.
But a grant writer's a grant writer, am I right?
And just particularly for this Choice Neighborhood
We
project.
never voted for a grant.
No, we didn't, no. I think we did, have
We did.
WRT, no, WRT was around because we were doing a redevelopment, plan for Downey Homes. So, but that's the only time that they were grant writers prior in 2019, but we haven't brought them back to the board.
Okay, so it says remove, okay, it says, CNI Neighborhood Transformation Plan. That's, the
That's
reason I,
for Choice Neighborhood, initiative, yep.
okay. So, what exactly has the board got so far? Is this the one with all the pictures of the breakout sessions? Are we calling that the CNI Neighborhood Transformation Plan? Where is this plan? What have
It's
we?
the same plan that's on the website, that, it's a transformation plan, it consists of Downey Homes, it consists of Junior One, it consists of 130 units throughout the community of redevelopment. Like Mr. Garrett said, it has a people component where you will have.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tuss. One thing it says in here, spearhead improvements in the neighborhood including vacant properties, housing, businesses, services, and schools. Again, I have had feedback from the tenants, and I know Mr. Garrett was thanking you all for the hard work, but again, it seems like a lot of what you're trying to go outside of the various properties that's under Trenton Housing Authority is not being properly maintained. So I just don't know how you are trying to add this as part of this development, because we're having problems with the upkeep and the maintenance of our own properties. We're having problems with, the care and the maintenance of the inside of the building, outside, and businesses, and managing the people who already live here. So I just don't know how we're adding this to extend, and you have a small staff, and as Mr. Garrett has already said, your social worker, your confidants, and all that, and most of the tenants, excuse me, because the tenants have spoken, that I speak to them regularly, has spoken that they're having issues. A lot of the personnel here, they don't even, half the time can't meet with them. They don't get back to them. That there's a lack of communication. So I'm just trying to understand how we're going to extend ourselves outside of the various properties and how that's going to work, since you're so overwhelmed now.
Commissioner.
Could you can explain that, Ms.
So
Huff?
Commissioner,
Overwhelmed.
that has nothing to do with the outside grant writing,
Okay.
the need for this to go
We're
forward.
just focusing on WRT for the
Yes.
choice grant, right?
That's what we're focusing on. That has
Okay.
nothing to do with it. Okay. Any other questions on this grant?
It's in the resolution, so I should be able to ask it. If it's in the resolution, I should be able to ask it. If you don't want me to speak on it, it should not be written in the resolution. So I'm speaking on the resolution. I'm not speaking off topic. It's written in the resolution, so I would like an answer.
So, the development will be in the development, so we will have less issues as far as maintenance, as far as, property security. So a lot of the issues here, we're envisioning a development similar to Turner Point here on the Omni Home site. We're also envisioning multifamily building on the corner of Martin Luther King Boulevard. We're also envisioning a community space and housing over at Junior One. And then the rest of the parcels that's throughout the neighborhood, they're abandoned already, they're vacant, and we're looking to redevelop them. So it's basic, it makes sense to everyone.
Well, most of the tenants don't have confidence, so that's why I'm speaking out. And they asked me to speak out on this,
Okay.
so they don't have confidence in the managing of the properties here that are under Trenton Housing Authority, for you to be expanding as you just did outside of the various properties and including them. So that's why I'm mentioning it. I see here with the criteria for scoring. It's a development case with experience a term. This is why you all say, because I'm not a trustee. I wasn't trying to participate as a trustee as long as I was not sitting in the role as a commissioner. I could have been there, but here, based on the criteria, I can't really confirm that they have the development capability and experience of a team or a firm. I can't reaffirm or say that I support this scoring sheet of demonstrating success in securing financing. And one more question. Thank you. Michaels. So there were issues with Michaels and the negotiation aspect. So was the issues with Michaels discussed with this code developer?
No.
Why not? Because if they come up, excuse me. The reason why I'm asking this question, because money and time is going to be spent in negotiating, and my concerns were not that you would approach them and say, well, it fell through to Michaels had this issue. My concern is if you start going with the negotiations and some of the criteria or the position the Trenton Housing Authority, or the terms the Trenton Housing Authority wants to go into for negotiations. I'm just saying, throwing it out there to see if they're willing to support those ideas or those terms or those conditions.
So the terms are in the RFP and they.
Oh, so you incorporated them in the
Yes.
RFP. Well, I didn't get the RFP, so could you submit that to RFP to me so I can see it, please?
Yes.
Okay, I appreciate that.
With that.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett,
Abstain.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2328, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Trenton designating the Genesis Company LLC as a conditional private development partner co-developer to redevelop Prospect Village, Fraser Court, and Campbell Homes development through a HUD-approved rental assistance demonstration, RAD. So we've been pursuing the redevelopment of the 2 vacant buildings over in Campbell Homes, which is right next to Fraser Courts, for some time, and we went out originally to have the development redeveloped and rehab. The prices came in too high, so now we went back out for co-developer partner, so that they can actually come up with an idea for those properties. The idea most likely will be to demolish those 2 properties and build something new there. We've had, we went out to bid, we had 3 proposals submitted, 17 RFQs were picked up, packages, but 3 people submitted, the firms submitted proposals. Out of the proposals, they were Penrose, MDG, and Genesis Company. We interviewed the firms. We had an evaluation committee similar to the one for Choice, where we did project site tours, we did interviews as well. At the end of the day, we felt that Genesis Company had a strong track record of success of developing affordable housing, and that they would be a good fit for our community and this development. We recommend that the Board of Commissioners approve this resolution 2328 to select Genesis as the co-development partner.
So moved.
One second.
Questions?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, this is, I don't know if this is probably being redundant, but I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. The other proposal said co-developer, that was 2326, and the 2328 it said pursuing a development partner. Now,
That was just an overview, but it does say in the beginning, there's a co-developer as well on the actual resolution, so we designated a conditional private development partner co-developer.
Now, what's the difference between 2326 and 2328? I'm just not clear on it, because
So-
to me it seems like it's the same thing. So I'm
one
just
is
not
for
clear.
Campbell, Fraser, and Prospect.
Oh yeah, that's right. Excuse me. So when was it decided that Fraser or Campbell Homes was going to be demolished? Because last time we reviewed this for Campbell was for I know it's been gutted out, and the issue was decreasing it from 30 to 24 units.
Yes.
Is that correct?
We talked about that originally.
Okay, and you were saying that it was going to cost $500,000 per unit.
Yeah, it was extremely, I think it was 8 million.
Okay, so you want to do, doesn't really give me much detail. I guess that's in the RFQ, exactly what you're really proposing to build in its place.
We told the developers to come up with their proposal, so they submitted a proposal of what they suggest for that unit, for those 2 buildings. So, one of them was to demolish the 2 units and build 45 units there. Another one was to demolish the unit and build a 76 unit building. Another one was just to bring back 30 units on site. All of them incorporate rehabbing Prospect Village as well. So that's part of it. So they would do in-place rehabs of Prospect Village as well.
So you're demolishing Campbell, yeah, because it said a number of,
vacant buildings, yes.
right, and then you're going, okay. So I guess my point is this going to be part of the neighborhood, the North Trenton neighborhood?
No.
No.
Okay, so I'm just a little concerned about the funding and what's going on right now with financing. That's just my concern. Have you did any figuring out, so we're still trying to use federal funds and grants to do this project, or we're going to still go about it like here with the code developer, and they would something like Rush Crossing is going to be that, or something like that, where it's just in they're just going to run it for under the RAD program, and we're just going to just receive the residuals off of the land. Is that what you're proposing?
No, we have terms in the RFQ also, which developer fees, cash flow, but the co-developer will go out and secure the financing. So they would go to HMFA, they would go to different funding sources and secure the financing for the project.
Have you tested the water and see where HFA would be possibly interested if you did bring on a developer for this project?
So these developers have, well, this one in particular has, they're a minority firm, so they're a black-owned company, and they're the only one in the state of New Jersey to ever receive low-income tax credits from HMFA. So they have a good reputation of receiving low-income tax credits, and that's what would be a bulk of the funding for this.
Okay, just before you sit down. Okay, so you just had the criteria in here, so you didn't give us anything else. Oh, and one more thing, the co-developer for the Choice neighborhood, I have nothing on that. I didn't receive no information on that developer, that co-developer, nothing. And I would thought that since we all were not there, that it would have been included in this package. So could you also have that sent to me as well? Thank you.
Okay, any other commissioner have a question on this? No further questions, roll call.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Abstain.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon, Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
Okay. My last resolution, Resolution 2329, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Trenton rescinding Resolution 1331, HUD's application for disposition of Campbell Homes. So as we were just talking about Campbell Homes and the potential of being demolished, we submitted an application to SAC, which is HUD's office for inventory removal. And we said back in 2013 we were going to have a developer do it. We actually had one on board, and that was under another leadership, but we weren't able to do that project. But we kept it under, in the SAC department, inventory removal, that we were going to dispose of the property. HUD came back and said you can't leave it in that position for so long. We were only supposed to leave it in for 3 years, so they want us to rescind that resolution, put it back in our books, and then we would probably have to apply again once this developer, does its financing and everything. So this is HUD requested us to rescind the resolution for the disposition agreement application DDA 0005-172 for Campbell Homes. It is recommended that the Board of Commissioners approve the resolution rescinding the disposition application for Campbell Homes.
So moved.
Second.
Question should be on this one.
Yes, I have one more. When we were speaking about 23, 28, you stated you were going to leave that up to the developer, rather they want to demolish it, or that's already been confirmed, because you didn't say it was a definite.
It was part of their proposal. I mean, they.
Oh, it was part of, again. I
New
just,
construction, they proposed new construction here, so they have to demolish it. I mean, it could change up, but that's what they proposed.
can I propose that going forward, that the RFQ be submitted, because a lot of these questions would have been answered if the information was supplied. Because, you're presenting these resolutions for us to approve, but with lack of, we didn't have anything prior to us getting this proposal to vote on it. So I appreciate that in the going forward, to have more information, so I'm better prepared to be able to make a decision.
Let's go to roll call on 2329.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Guerrero,
Abstain.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Raines,
Yes.
Commissioner Weldon, Chairman Gentry.
Yes.
That concludes the resolution.
anyone from the public here with anything to say? No response?
We have one person signed up to speak for public comment.
And that is,
Rayan Easy.
Yeah. Now you guys are saying with getting all these grants, where is the money at?
we're applying for grants. We're applying for grants in order to do our development projects.
But then wait. When you do buy appliances, y'all buy all that cheap appliances, break it down as soon as you put it back in the apartment. Refrigerators, all that stuff breaks down. Cause it happened to me already. Y'all buy cheap appliances, if that was you in Hamilton or wherever, it'd be nice appliances. Why is that? The refrigerators are cheap, stoves are cheap, everything is cheap. And you guys know it's cheap. And
My concern would be how many tenants complain that they have cheap refrigerators, stoves, and, you know.
this is the money that y'all are getting all the time from HUD. Where's the money going to?
She's saying misappropriating the funds. It's not being spent correctly is what
So
she's
you're
saying.
saying that the funds is being used to buy cheap products when the funds should be used to buy more expensive products?
That money's going to your pockets.
G, it's all specified by the,
So,
insurance contract, not EPC contract.
You don't make any sense. Huh? All the time. All the time. And now, and you guys are, and it's talk in the street on the boulevard that you guys are getting junior one. For what reason?
That's part of the Choice
Did you
Neighborhood
acquire
project.
anyone?
That's part of the choice neighborhood.
Did you acquire it? That's
No,
what.
we
we're
haven't
talking about
acquired
this since
it.
2018.
But we actually,
Requiring junior one.
yeah. We
Trying to
have
make it
that.
inclusive as a part of our North Trenton
It's a,
development
literally,
project.
it's a sore eye in the community. It's been up my entire life, just sitting there. So what we supposed to leave it there?
She came down when Jefferson came down.
But you gotta understand, this is how.
We don't know.
Native
No,
property
I'm
is
talking
owned
about
by-
the school. It's the school itself. I'm not talking about
That's a
housing.
whole, that's another board meeting.
Right.
But the housing authority doesn't own
We
Junior
don't
One.
own the school.
That's her question. That was her question. She
And
heard
now,
that you
another question.
acquired it.
People are being, now, you guys are putting everybody out of here, transferring everybody, right? For what reason?
When?
Out of Dolly Homes. They didn't transfer to where they want to put me at, or we don't on Oakland.
So why are they being transferred?
You gonna knock me down, I guess.
That's a resident tenant issue, that each resident has put in an application to transfer, that is a personal reason why they request.
No, a lot of people it's been moved up. It's getting moved out because you put them, you transferring everybody.
We haven't started yet.
We have not started that project.
No
That's
one-
why we're doing
no
these
one has been
resolutions. These
involuntary transfer. Any
resolutions,
transfer.
resolutions that we was talking about, that will, if they take place, that's when the transfer will
So
take
now
place.
let me ask you
But
a
as of
question.
right now, we
Now-
didn't break ground on this project.
Are you putting it? I mean, you got it. I mean, got it. You took the brought those people out here to clean the apartments out.
Say that one more time?
That was for health and safety.
They came to clean the apartments out
Yeah, for health and safety.
and threw out all the old stuff in the
A lot of
apartments.
people skipped out. A lot of people skipped out and left stuff in there, and there was a lot of food that was going bad. There was a lot of smells. I believe that
Well, why
in
you
your
ain't hit?
building,
Why you ain't hit 25? 2A.
a lot of
That's
persons,
for 3 years
a lot
now.
of persons have complained, and then based off of whatever complaints, we sent teams in to go clean out those apartments.
You still haven't hit 25
I can't
I'm
speak
too
on
big.
that. I can't speak on that. You can put in a complaint before you leave the building to make sure that somebody comes in and cleans out the
All the
building.
money I spent on board gas, calling over here because someone was dead in the apartment. It was cat piss and shit. And you guys came in here and seen it. And you know it's been vacant. Now you're going to decide now to put a eviction notice on the door. For what reason? That girl ain't there.
It's a process with the door due
Yeah,
diligence.
she should have been there a long time ago then. You knew she was gone. Do your job. Do your job, Housing Authority. Don't start. Do your job.
Anything else, Ms. Uchi? Any other, issue,
As I was saying, it should have been, you gonna put it on the door now. For what reason? The girl can't read it?
It's a legal process. As Mr. Garrett said, with the 17 evictions that were performed, we had to wait for the courts to go through the process to take ownership over the unit. We can't just go and say somebody's evicted or they moved out. They can always come back and say, I was down south, I was somewhere else, which we would have to revoke the process. Being that we went through the proper channels, that's why it takes.
So are you moving people back into the dining homes?
No, we are not.
Yes, you are. Because someone moved in Pebbles apartment.
Not certain units.
No, I can't speak on that. If
If
somebody
someone
moved in
moved in,
here,
someone else got moved
if
in
somebody moved in
yesterday.
there, that's somebody that's not supposed to
Not
be there.
around on my side, but I really got moved in to dining home.
In the walk-ups, we have not authorized anybody to move in those walk-ups.
You moved them back in here.
We have not. Okay. Yes, ma'am. We'll look into it, but nobody was permitted to move. Nobody was given a notice that they
Alright.
can move into those units. If they're in there illegally.
Well, then damn sure moving back in here.
We would like your assistance in helping us identify which units that you're saying people are moving into.
If
If
you
you
do
can
your
do
job,
that.
you know.
Okay.
So if somebody is moving into a unit where they shouldn't
Like
be
Bob.
living there, that means tenants, because we all gotta work together, Cousin Rion. So if you know that somebody
tell
is
you one
living
thing.
there, Cousin Rion, and they're not supposed to be, you just gotta report that to
Everybody
housing
don't work with
authority.
me. They're not gonna work with me.
So you could call me.
They're not gonna work with me.
You
They
could have
haven't
called me
done
and
it.
you could have told me that
Stand up.
someone
Yeah.
lived in there.
I'm already a short woman, okay?
You can say.
They're not gonna work with me.
So you call me.
We have.
You
They
tell
call me in here, they call me Carrie. Like I told these assholes, like him that
Excuse
beating
me,
the
Miss
Jews.
Rion, this
Carrie's not here, but her
It's your
grandmother's
third
here.
curse word. Now, no, I'm not gonna have no
Okay.
more board meeting.
I don't appreciate
Oh, really?
what's going on in here.
I'm sorry, who's Captain?
And that TV show Carrie, that movie.
Okay. Okay, I don't, we, no.
I don't appreciate that.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'll
And
call
then-
you and you can give me that tenant address. And
When
I'll
I'm
speak to
told,
the general manager.
what's the building? Abbott. I said, I'm not going to the senior citizen building. I had a meeting with, whatever his name is, I don't even know his name, and Godfrey.
Yes, ma'am.
The other guy gonna say, well, you wanna sign a denial. I'm not signing no denial. When I told all you I wouldn't want to see a citizen building, I'm not no inmate. I gotta ask somebody, can my kids stay with me? You gotta clock in and clock out. I'm 6 years old. When my grandkids come to me, I'm gonna stay.
So your issue right now in your senior citizen building is because you have to
And then
authorize
they're nasty.
visitation.
They're nasty.
Cause that's a lot of senior citizen buildings where people cannot stay overnight.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. That's why I'm not going to none.
Okay.
Drugs transactions all night long in Trenton. Yeah,
That's a city council issue, so we gotta go to city council.
Infested.
Exactly.
And I
Maybe write a
refuse-
letter
and I
down to
refuse
the
to go to
police
one.
department. Because housing authority, we can't do nothing about drugs.
I know that. That's why I'm not going to teach system building.
Is there something that y'all could do for any of the issues that she stated?
Yep, she could call me.
She has
about
been
the tenants that's
communicating with
living in
me.
there.
She has
Why
been
don't you get
communicating
forward?
with me, and I have been reporting it to Mr. Garrett. So yes, Miss Usi has been communicating with me. I have, and when I report it to the whole board. I don't say who is reporting it, but I do report it to Mr. Garrett. And I copy every one of the board members. I do not communicate just with Mr. Garrett. So anything that any of you tenants have shared with me concerns, I don't say exactly. He probably already knows because you were, if you have a issue with your housing, I have reported to him, and the board is aware of it. So if you haven't had success, and Mr. Garrett and his team, staff, coming out and rectifying the issue or whatever within a good period of time, just let me know, and I will resubmit it to Mr. Garrett and the board again. And if they don't respond to your any maintenance, any issues with your unit, then again, I'm not keeping any secrets. I will report it to HUD.
I'm still dealing with cockroaches.
So Rion, what you dealing
What
with
is your-
cockroaches in your apartment? So I'm trying to figure out what's your problem. So in your apartment, you dealing with cockroaches?
Oh, yes, the whole building
You
is.
get appliances is a mess. You got old appliances. Cause you said you was talking about appliances.
They're new
So-
now,
So you got new appliances.
but it's raggedy on the way.
So you want better appliances.
Yes.
You don't want the ones that we
It's
provide.
raggedy, you should see it. It's cheap appliances in my bathroom. The doorway we close up under the sink. The
So
water
when we
comes out.
update your appliances, we need to go ahead and update everybody's appliances?
I don't care what you do about the appliances.
I mean, cause
you know
this
what's
is, we
going
work for
on.
housing authority,
And
we
when
work
you turn
for
my water
community.
on, it comes out brown. You gotta let it run first.
So you got water issues, plumbing issues then?
Oh,
So you never put a work order in?
huh?
I'm talking about physical, like a type one, not verbal. Like submit a
Okay,
work
I brought
order?
my kids so many times. I got a book on them.
So if when I ask them to pull you, they gonna be able to give you all your work orders, and I'ma personally make sure.
Police are full. I got so many complaints in here, girl, write-ups and different things.
Is it crack or something? Cause from my understanding, you was telling someone that like something is broke, like in your walkway or steps or something.
Girl, I don't throw that thing to my eye up.
So you put a work order in for that too?
It ain't even don't do nothing.
So is the floor, is the pavement outside of your apartment?
It's in the hallway, on the stairs. I got pictures right in this camera.
So you could,
With his phone.
so you failed?
Messed myself up.
Okay. So you got a hallway crack.
Then I tried to make an appointment to meet with Mr.
Garrett?
No, because they said they don't know
you. I sat down and met with Mr.
Oh.
I didn't say that.
This
I'm
is
not
Mr.
saying
Garrett,
that.
he's the
Other
executive director.
tenants are saying they don't know you. They didn't even know who you is or what
I didn't know who the man
That's
was.
what I'm
So
saying.
that ain't gonna be.
I didn't know who the man was at first. I never seen him.
Okay. We're gonna make sure it's covered. And what else was wrong?
And he can laugh while he won't
What
laugh.
else was wrong with your
He
unit?
not even know what I'm
Leon,
gonna be doing.
I'm trying to help you. What else was wrong in your unit?
It stinks. I got plug-ins all over my apartment.
So maybe it's-
Smell is what you're saying, the smell. She
Yes.
complained about the smell. People
Yes.
are urinating in the hallway.
So mental
So
illness
how-
maybe,
It's
or homelessness.
It's
So what we supposed to do? Cause even in my building we had homeless people living in there.
well, these people come in from out of nowhere and use that hallway for the public bathroom.
So we might have to go to city council meeting and start talking
Mr.
about our
Ross
homelessness,
from-
right?
from-
City
But
council
they
does
all
not
came out
handle
already.
housing authority issues.
If we got homeless people in the city of Trenton living in our buildings, that's the city council problem.
She didn't say living. She
If
said,
they're peeing,
from
we
my
don't- if
understanding,
they're
and
homeless, we
excuse
don't know
me,
where
and
they're
what did
living.
you say to me?
Rihanna,
You said to
any
me
other
that
problems?
it's people who live here that are urinating. Is that
So
correct?
that
Or you
might
have
be
never
mental-
seen
that
people?
may-
Come in, use the bathroom.
We got mental, so the people that's peeing in your hallway, they don't live in it, they're not tenants. So they're just random people from the streets coming into your building.
One day I get my hair done.
And they just peeing.
Yeah, one evening I get my hair done, and I heard something in the hallway.
So we
And
got a
I
homeless
said, wait a minute.
issue.
I said, hold on, sweetheart. And she
It's a
said,
city
stop.
council
Open
problem,
my
right?
door up, went to the door, the girl squatting, pissing. I said,
So maybe that's a mental, maybe
and she
mental
ran out of
illness.
there with piss going down her pants.
Alright, Ms. Simpson,
She probably got it. Urine went down her pants.
thank you, okay, with that, okay. Are there any other tenants here? I got one time that want to say.
They're not gonna complain.
Yes.
Okay.
We got all our problems.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. I got all our problems.
Mr. Hill, come up to the podium, please, because you're far back in the back of the room. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Kenneth Bill, President of Fresh Towers.
Good afternoon.
I just would like to know, what is the security is supposed to do, because last month I was stuck on the elevator for a half an hour.
Oh, goodness.
I had my telephone. I didn't call the fire department, I called security. The residents there were downstairs, they said they heard me talking to security. I understand the girl got up, walked outside, called her back. I said, did you call the fire department? Stuck in the elevator now. How do y'all train them? To
Security officers.
deal with the residents, yes.
You mean issues like that? It's not the residents, the issues like
No,
you being
with
stuck in the
security
elevator.
and the
Yeah,
residents.
then
Me.
you should, and I don't know if this was part of our emergency issue that we had, but if you're stuck in the elevator, there's an emergency button that goes directly to the contractor that's monitoring. That's the best way. Don't
Right.
call security. Hit the emergency button, and then there's a company on the other line that makes the
Okay.
contact to the fire department. That's the appropriate way to do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
All right, I've
yeah.
been there, I
Yeah.
just found this out.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
secondly, the security guys that y'all hired, that goes around, come around,
Mhm.
what are they supposed to do? Just come in the front of the building, go to the side, look down the hallway, come out, walk out front, come back in and go back to the truck? Or do they supposed to check off from 10 on down the floor?
We'll make sure that we do want them to walk the floors. That's something we do definitely. Ron and I talked about that, so we'll make sure we get them walking the floors also.
All right, thank you.
The minutes are-
Excuse me, Mr. Hill. When did the air conditioning come back on?
Elevator.
He was discussing.
I heard what he was discussing. I'm asking him because I had a few calls from French about the central air, and they said it was out for at least 8 days. So I'm asking, has it been repaired, or do they have air?
Said what?
So, you have air? Has it been repaired? Is the
Our
boiling
air's been
pool?
repaired for almost a week now.
So it's still down. Hasn't been repaired.
It's
been repaired.
Oh, it's been repaired for a
Yeah,
week.
so
You're saying?
I don't know who's getting that information out, but it's not correct.
Okay. Well, I got a number of phone calls. Okay.
Not
Minutes
correct.
Then I
reflect
leave it
that
for your minutes,
Mr.
and I leave
Gentry
it
had to
at
leave
home.
at 2:14, so Ms. Weldon Gordon is taking the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Is there any more tenant comments? No? Okay.
Commissioner comments is next.
At this time, we have commissioner comments. Mr. Anderson?
I have one more.
Uh,
If, if I tell them I don't wanna go to a senior citizen building, and then one try to send me to one, and I tell them I'm not going, why would that person ask me to sign a denial, paper? Even though I'm not going to go to senior citizen complex.
If you don't wanna go, you have every right to say you don't wanna go.
So why would why would I be asked to sign a denial?
Because it's recorded that we offer.
Because they already offered it to you and you turned it down.
But I already told them I'm going to senior citizen building.
Yeah, that's fine.
So now
That's
you're
fine.
just
So
taking,
don't ask me
you're leaving a
about the
hard
statement of
copy.
denial. That wasn't right.
Because you verbally said it, so you
said
just
you didn't
signed
wanna go.
it saying you're not gonna go. It's.
So then that
No, I'm
no.
just saying, don't even ask me to sign nothing. Like John Hancock bound.
But that's our policy.
But let me ask
That's
this
fine.
question.
That's fine. That's fine. We have commissioner comments right now, Mr. Anderson.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
This has been a very nice experience today, exciting meeting, and very interesting. I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much to the team for the outstanding job that you guys are doing. At this point, I just want to say, it's a beautiful day. I got my daughter here with me visiting.
Hi, daughter.
It must have a beautiful experience. But I was going to say to the director, keep up the good work.
Yes. I have asked for the reports, the REACT reports. I know you stated that you had submitted, you handed out, is that what you're asking her to get,
Yeah.
the REACT? Okay, because it only had the scores in there. Okay. The relocation plan, could you please, submit that to me? Has that been completed yet?
No.
Okay, you have a shell of it or a draft of the relocation plan?
No.
Okay, alright, so I'm
The
gonna
relo-
submit.
The relocation plan will be done in connection with the actual grant, so by December 11, when we submit everything, all of that will be a part of that.
Yeah, I would like to see it before it get collective. I wanna see what it, before you put it collectively with the, overall, with the, code developer. It's not the code, with the plan, with the housing plan is what you're saying? Okay. And, the report that was.
Can I, just to say one thing, we do have one that Christy didn't mention that I wanted the board to know. We do have a RFP out now for the people portion of the plan, and that's the portion I talked about with respect to education, healthcare, all of that. We were advised that, HUD really looks for a national firm that has demonstrated success and outcomes and can demonstrate that they've gone into other communities and improve the quality of life in those communities. So that's out now. That's due back September 19th. So we may have to, with the timing of this Choice Neighborhoods implementation grant, we may have to ask for a special board meeting to get that contract on board so that we can have the people portion of our plan tied up as well as housing people in neighborhoods.
Okay, but I have to finish my.
Excuse me, let her finish.
Thank you. Yeah, and, the report that was given, earlier by Mr. Godfrey, the secretary's report, it really didn't give much detail. I'm not trying to come across negative, but it's, the point is, I am interacting, the whole objective of being on this non-paying board is to advocate for the residents. And the residents want more information. The residents want better communication. The residents, from what I was shared, they're just getting bits and pieces. They're asking about more information about Darling Homes, exactly where you are with it. I know there's a number of tenants, a small number of tenants that are attending this meeting. Overall, they want to know more information. So I don't know if you want to do a special session and try to get them more involved, or what, outside of this board meeting, because it's not enough information. And when you do give a presentation, you need to give a presentation where when you're talking about Turner's Point, you're talking about the issues of Turner's Point and how you're rectifying those issues at Turner's Point. Everything was just collectively together. So they don't know if you're talking about their building or somebody else's building. There's not enough information in regards to the board, the residential board board councils. I don't know, you call them councils. What do you call them? Council? Tenant councils. Resident council. If you would like, have someone write down the dates that you have in those councils, have them posted by the guard desk, a list so people know ahead of time. I just think that when you notify them within the month, sometimes it takes people a few days to plan to attend these meetings. And if you do, also schedule, like for Darling Homes, that they come with Christy Huff to kind of give you more detail on what's what. In regards to like maintenance, as I was asking about the HVAC, have someone in that area, the maintenance director, attend those meetings, invite them. If there's certain issues you are having in your building, ask to have that director come to that meeting and explain security. So I would think that most of these tenant council sessions should include the director of maintenance and director of security, because those are the questions I'm getting. Tenants are very concerned about the security. Tenants are very concerned about, overdue work orders, not, having certain things fixed in their apartment. So I'm asking when they have these meetings, have them come in so they can get that information directly. And I think it relieves the board commissioners of getting these calls and getting these, because that's why they're calling us, because they're just, there's a lack of communication from their perspective. Okay, so I would suggest that to have them there, and if there's other issues, let them know. Director Glover, if you can find out who is the police liaison for West Trenton and North Trenton, and give them that list once that the tenant council meetings have that list there, and it as again be posted. I would like you to post this commissioner meeting, a list of that if you could, at the tenant at the doors of each property for this year, for the sessions up to June. But if you can find out, Mr. Glover, is Mr. Glover in here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, Mr. Glover, find out who is the liaison, so when the tenants can let them know what's going on here. So it's not like when they call the police, it's like the police, they come here and they sit. So they need a liaison to kind of explain what's going on, and when security calls, that they're aware some of these issues are ongoing, and they'll know how to address it, not coming into the various properties, not really knowing what's what, and feeling like, their life is in danger. So it's like a communication with the tenants. Again, you said you're going to get me to react, the tenant council, and if, like I said, I appreciate it if you can post all the tenant council meetings for up until whenever, it is all year, and the time where you're going to be meeting, and also can someone, Miss Green, find out about money, because from my understanding, for each unit in the building, they're supposed to get a certain stipend so they can be prepared to provide food or whatever it is for these meetings. So they want to know more about that. So from my understanding, they're supposed to have an office. Some of the places that I'm told that it's raining in there, leaking water in there on the computers. The rooms are not accessible for the president and the vice president to go in there and handle tenant concerns and issues.
All right.
That's
thank
about
you.
it. Thank you.
Commissioner Raines?
I really don't have anything, just wanted to thank the Housing Authority, Jelani, Fran, your team. This summer we had a summer internship program, well, we have it every year, County Immersive on one side, and I think I'm a little off on the numbers, but I think the Housing Authority took 6 interns for us this year. I was hoping to catch up with Fran. I texted my staff, but they didn't get back to me. The manager that ran the program quit the day before the program started, so it dropped on my plate, and I jumped into it, but just wanted to thank the Housing Authority because they gave 6, 7, okay, they gave 7 Trenton or Mercer County youth a positive work experience. And, seeing as I sit on this board, I had to remove myself from it, but I still managed the staff that handled what was going on. So I just wanted to thank everybody.
Thank you.
There are some good things happening.
Absolutely. So,
Couldn't help myself. I had to say that.
I think that some of the tenants need to know the protocol of the job that needs to be done while you're living here at the Housing Authority. Each tenant has a lease of what they signed, so they will know what they signed on for. So many tenants are afraid to do a work order because they don't want people in their house, and they know that they have issues, but they don't want to report it. The Housing Authority can only do what is allowed of them if they know what the issue is. know what the issue is, there is nothing that they can do. Hearsay does not hold weight for anything. And at the end of the day, I hope each tenant realize this is where you pay rent to. So you need to make sure that you rectify the situation of where you live. Because at the end of the day, you signed those papers. By you coming to the commissioners, we can only go by your word. But at the end of the day, we're gonna look it up. And if we find out that you didn't do X, Y, and Z, it doesn't rectify the problem because you still have it. You have to put in a work order. Don't be afraid to put in a work order. If you messed up the unit, you messed up the unit. You ain't the first and you truly will not be the last. Things happen. So you have to do your due diligence first before the staff can do theirs.
But now,
You know. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Also, we are only commissioners. We can listen to what you have to say, and we're here for that. But again, at the end of the day, you have to do your part too. Because without the tenants, there will be no staff. Without the staff, there will be no executive director. We are all in this together, and we have to work together in order to make it better. You cannot turn a blind eye. You cannot just send anonymous letters and nobody don't know where to begin, where to start, where to finish, because you don't want to speak up for yourself. But at the end of the day, it's your money. This is where you're paying to live. You want a nice neighborhood, you want a nice apartment, but if you don't tell the housing authority the issues that you have, they cannot fix it. They are not a mind reader. At the end of the day, the housing authority people are here from 8:30 to 4:30. But you are here all day, every day. Think about if you own the house. If you don't do your due diligence for that house is going to fall apart. And then it's going to be taken away from you. So please, we have to respect the staff, we have to respect the executive director, and we have to also respect ourselves. Everything has consequences. And I think today's society, we are moving away from that. You know what you signed up for. If this is not for you, then you just need to move away and move someplace else. We can only help those who help themselves. And that is my comment. So now, we will adjourn this meeting.
excuse me for a second.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm
I
sorry.
want to speak before I leave.
No, this meeting
What you
is
mean,
over.
though?
So moved.
And I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
You know what?
Thank you so much for coming.
So Breon, a meeting is ran with an agenda, so we have to follow everything on that agenda. So when we went to the public comments, we let you speak and nobody interrupted you. So we moved on to the next section. That's the problem, our people. If this was the end of an ACP board meeting and a curse word was being used, they would have shut the whole meeting down.
They should have.
We do not tolerate